try and get up every morning, day after day, and work for a living. Let's see him try that. Then we'll see who's the real tough guy. The working man is the tough guy.
With me, Joe Wilson, a wealth management advisor with a big money management house.
Mo money, yo money, Joe money.
We're happy to get the kind of money that jingles, but we'd rather get the kind that folds.
Not your grandpa's financial show.
What's going on, my money mavens and moolah misfits? It's me, your money guy, Joe Wilson of the Joe Knows Money Show, reporting live on Progressive Voices Network, delivering you 4 minutes of money news you can use. Trending this week in money news, more Americans are relying on rental income from investment property to fund their retirement. That leads me to my next topic, 6 ways to avoid the common mistakes of first-time landlords. Tip number 1, ideally you want to live near your rental property. Living close to your property allows you to check on it periodically and to show the property when it's time to list it for renting again. Research the best investment areas, but even if you don't live in a prime rental region, you can still invest in one by hiring a property manager to take care of day-to-day details. Tip number 2, know landlord and tenant laws. Most states have specific landlord-tenant provisions that covers issues such as security deposits and how much notice you need to give your tenants when you want them to leave. There are also federal laws you need to know, such as habitability and anti-discrimination laws. Tip number 3, make sure you can enforce that the rent is paid on time. If you get too friendly with your tenants, you might just let them slide a couple of weeks beyond the first of the month. Before you know it, your tenants are 6 months behind and you're struggling to make mortgage payments. But being firm doesn't mean that you shouldn't treat your tenants with respect. Tip number 4, screen potential tenants. It's worth the time to do background and credit checks on all potential tenants. Online tenant screening services are convenient. A credit score alone shouldn't be the sole reason to accept or deny an applicant, but it is a useful screening tool. You should also conduct interviews to make sure you're comfortable interacting with them and check references, especially for employers and past landlords. Tip number 5, customize the lease. For example, if you allow pets, specify how many, what kind, and any rules that apply. Tip number 6, inspect the property frequently. Have language regarding inspections clearly written in your lease documents. Take pictures to establish a baseline and document move-in conditions. Understand this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You'll need to spend some money to ready the property for tenants, buy landlord insurance, and pay property taxes. If you're taking out a mortgage, be prepared to fork over at least 20% down payment. Now it's time for Joe's Money Trap of the Day. In downtimes, your property could sit empty for several months. You'll need to learn to manage your finances in times of feast and famine. Some months you'll have full occupancy. You'll have to be dedicated enough to save and not spend during those months, because during other months you'll experience vacancies, late rent, and major repairs. A landlord's finances do not stay constant. If you can learn to go with the flow and plan for the unexpected, you just might come out ahead. Here is Joe's money grab of the day. Use a no down payment strategy like seller financing if you don't have the 20% down payment normally required. In this strategy, instead of selling the home outright, the seller becomes the mortgage holder. Title to the home passes to the buyer, but a mortgage is registered on the property with a promissory note where the buyer agrees to whatever terms were negotiated. Sellers may require down payment, but if they don't, then you have yourself a no money down deal. And now it's time for Joe's quote of the day. Landlords grow rich in their sleep. That is a quote by John Will. You are listening to the Joe Knows Money Show on Progressive Voices Network. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Joe Knows Money to hear this and other 4-minute money news you can use segments.